Falconers have trained birds of prey since the dawn of time. Practiced with dedication in every region of the world when natural conditions allow it, falconry heritage has been passed from generation to generation over the millennia. We don't know what prompted our ancestors to train a bird of prey. Was it to catch food, or was it the fascination of establishing such a close and intimate link with a top predator? A dream of sharing the falcon's unrivaled skills and a desire to break free from the shackles of man's earthbound existence. What we do know is that man emerged from the shadows of antiquity with a hawk on his fist. Wearing handcrafted thin strips of leather or jesses around its ankles, the hawk sits securely on the falconer's glove. There are many specialised pieces of equipment. These developed as new skills were learnt and different branches of falconry evolved. These ancient skills are not easily learnt. They require hands-on teaching, years of practice, and a good tutor.
Of endangered birds of prey back to wild nature.
Here in the Czech Republic, as with many countries across Europe, falconers gather every year to celebrate the continuous culture and heritage of their ancestors. In many societies, the hawk, the dog and the horse have been man's favoured hunting companions. Together, they have shared the highs and lows of the day's hunting. Falconers spend hours with their hawks, falcons and eagles. Each is gently introduced to modern life without stress. Over time, the hawk will come to trust its handler, and a bond becomes established. The hawks love to preen and bathe, keeping their feathers in peak condition. Some warm up their engine in preparation for the day's activities. Falconers study the behaviour and welfare of their birds in great depth. In 1250, Emperor Frederick II of Hohenstaufen, himself a dedicated falconer, wrote what we now know as the first proper ornithological text. The art of hunting with birds goes into great depth on the anatomy and diseases of birds and became the foundation of modern avian veterinary science. And his writings on migration and habitat use were the forerunners of modern ethology and ecology. But we don't need to go this far back. There are modern-day clues all around us that demonstrate how the art of falconry has become ingrained in the culture and psyche of many societies. In Middle Eastern culture, one only has to look at the importance of falconry to ruling families to appreciate how important falconry is to Arab society. The alliance between man and birds of prey is so firmly rooted in countries such as Syria, Morocco, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates that even the Muslim sacred scripture, the Quran, contains a reference to it. Held annually, the Abu Dhabi International Hunting and Equestrian Exhibition highlights falconry as one of the activities that dominates life in the region. Exhibits delve into the history and heritage of falconry, whilst also illustrating that falconry plays a major role in adding to the region's cultural identity. Falconry is an art form in its own right, and from this come other expressions of the passion that is falconry. each spring from the falconer's desire to record and share their love of birds of prey with others.
Who plays golf here? Right. Caddy. Where does caddy come from? King Henry VIII used to have his royal hawks, and the carriage that was held the hawks was called a caddy. The man that ran behind the caddy was called the cadger. So there's where we get the word, he's a cadger. We're all cadging.
In July 2009, the International Festival of Falconry attracted falconers from over 50 nations, one of which used a rather unusual mode of transport.
I'm very proud to be here in the name of Belgium to present actually what we are doing in Belgium during many centuries. So falconry has been practiced for so long in Flanders and in Belgium. And we were very famous to trap actually the peregrine falcons, because the peregrine falcon was coming over from the northern part of Europe. So during medieval times it was very important for falconers in Belgium to trap these ones.
Modern falconry has many uses that benefit modern life and ecology. Here in Madrid, falcons are used to drive off other birds from Spanish airspace, reducing the number of accidents caused by bird strikes. Every day, the lives of thousands of passengers are safeguarded through the efforts of a bird of prey weighing scarcely a kilogram, a falcon trained using the ancient art of falconry developed different branches according to the terrain of the countryside. In wooded countries, the true hawks were chosen, fierce-looking birds with piercing yellow eyes and hair-trigger reactions. They can catch a pheasant or a rabbit in short, sharp dashes through the trees. Nowadays, in the hawking field, the falconer needs to be wary of man-made hazards such as wind turbines and pylons. Perseverance is required to overcome obstacles, physical fitness, the ability to keep his head and think quickly, adaptability, teamwork and strategy. Success is not measured by the number of prey animals caught, but by how well the falcon has flown. The cultural tradition that is 4,000 years of falconry living heritage must not be lost. Its practice must continue as an oral tradition. Its art and written knowledge must be celebrated and appreciated. Its place in future conservation must be encouraged. Falconry may only be a small part of mankind's role in sustaining our planet, but one that is central to the basic tenet of UNESCO's convention, and one worth protecting for future generations, not in a museum, but alive and in the countryside where it first developed. The baton of our falconry culture has been passed down to us from our ancestors. We cannot be the generation who allows it to fall.